What is going on, IK fam? BN, I'm back again today for another dope video, and I'm pretty excited because we're going to be talking about our jump project that we are putting together. Now, before I start off, as always, guys, if you enjoy the content, sub to the channel, give us a thumbs up, hit that notification bell to get updates on when new videos are coming out, and then, of course, in the description down below, you can find additional resources for IK, along with a link at the top if you want to download the game and support us as a creator. Now, after that, let's go ahead and dive in. So, for anyone that is interested in joining the project, right, let me start off there, is that in the description down below you'll find a Discord link to my server where we are organizing the project on. Keep in mind, you can join anytime you want, whether that is now, a week from when this video is out. You can join all the way up until when we create or when we jump our accounts from everyone that's preparing them now to the new server. Even if you don't want to do that, or if you just find the video out later at the time when we jump, you can just create a new account in the new server that we designate we're going to. You could even create a new account a week, a couple weeks after. So there's plenty of time to join, is basically what I'm saying. From when this video comes out, like I said, we're shooting right now for somewhere probably around, I would say, mid-end April, maybe beginning of May. Again, we don't want to sit on it too long, but we definitely want to sit long enough to where we are prepared. Now, let me dive in to what our project is going to be about, and some of the things that players, if you like what I'm going to say, and you can look forward to what you would experience if you joined. So, let's start off. I'm going to show you guys two samples here. One is going to be a ad from what we've been posting in the official Infinity Kingdom server, which is that, you know, your main focus is always, right, primarily is to try and get your accounts to T5, of course, max buildings research, right, trying to get to VIP 10 as we talk about, count level 2, right, because that'll help you with passive buffs and then daily gems. Preparing your account to be in the best shape for Alliance vs. Alliance and, of course, server vs. server when that comes out. Some of our short-term goals is that, right, we'd like to try and have up to 16 alliances if we can. Of course, that would require for us to find 15 additional leads. But if not, our minimum really is coming in around 6 to 9. That would be our hope. And then, of course, we'd be spreading those across the factions. Right, 1 leader per, and then we want to try and at least have 2 officers per as well to accompany. And then, right, this is going to allow for us to show early unification in the server. And allowing for us to kind of set standards and help develop as a whole, which essentially just means that because we're coming in as a big group, right, we're able to have hopefully a bigger hand in managing and kind of supervising how the server develops, and then of course in conjunction with working with the other alliances that are there as well, even if they're not a part of our initial family coming in. And again, similar to how we did in S8, where we were able to unify the server early on and everything worked out really well as far as the beginning portion. And long-term goals, right, splitting cities, starting with the top 16, right, which is kind of why we mentioned that in the previous point. And then after Supreme Alliance and City Siege events are finished, as our initial marker, right, then we'll start looking at providing towards the Final Kingdom jump, which essentially just means that that we're going to be doing that information. We're providing that information after those events finish. I actually don't know why I have that line in there. But after those 2 events finish, which essentially is just you trying to hit a certain faction power, and of course trying to be at the top of the boards for either of those, then you'll start getting a gauge a little bit after that, because those run for a few weeks, and then you'll start figuring out kind of what your activity is left. As far as how many players are still retaining and being kept in the server, and then you can kind of gauge it appropriately and see how you want to do that. If you want to do a top 16, you want to go to like a top 12, you want to do a top 9, right, you can really figure that out based on how many active alliances you still currently have after a few weeks into a server, and then of course so on and so forth. And then again, our long-term goals more is preparing for SVS, AVA, right? I think those are really the most important things when you look at how a server is going to progress. I think anyone who doesn't really focus on those things is just kind of, you know, not really looking at the big picture. You know, that's why, and again, kingdom builders are kind of plagued with this. This is a very standard thing where, you know, if there's no level of organization or structure coming in immediately, right, or early on in a server, it basically is just a free-for-all, right? And then you're just hoping that things are going to work out. And I, you know, part of that was what we went in with S6, and then less likely, but still happened as well in S8. And so those are just things that you're always trying to minimize, right? Your risk, because you're accountable for your players. right? We would never want to go jump to a server if we are not really fully prepared, especially with how much time we have now compared to our limited kind of deadline time that we had going into the S8 project. And mainly that was just because we wanted to try and make it into the last beta server. So, we were underprepared overall. But I think that's the benefit, the really enjoyment, I guess you can have. I guess the thing we're looking forward to for this project. And then, again, by doing these things, right, we'll allow players to develop freely. We're not going to have to worry about unnecessary PvP. This will give players an opportunity to max their accounts and then progress as much as possible. Now, Kingdom events. Right, there's a few big ones, which is Titan Tula, Contextual Lords, Contextual Relics. And so Titan Tula, right, typically it's pretty standard what we do, right? The thing about Titan Tula, especially since the last update with them splitting it into 3, right, we'd love to try and get everyone involved. Now, I will say with Titan Tula, it is a little bit iffy because it just depends on how you want to value out and choose what to spend your AP on. But typically the way that we do Titan Tula is that, right, it's a safe event. So, there's no player hits, no city hits to Titan Tula, right? Everyone is welcome to do that just because that also goes in accordance with the silver rules that we're planning to set up. Now, Contention Lords, which is the kill event, typically how we like to do it in the beginning is we start off everything in the Forbidden Zone, which is the middle of the map. So if anyone wants to do kill event, right, that's where they go. Anywhere outside of that is just not able to be done. Contention of Relics, we'll rotate factions. So it just depends, right? In S8, I really liked how we did it there because we had good activity in each of the factions. And so rotating the factions blue, red, and green, right, to try and win, I think is a great thing. It also minimizes players switching over and spending the 2k green gems, right, to kind of just do the faction chasing, so to speak, where they're rotating for every win so they can collect special tiles. I think when you have enough active... Now, that's not to say people can't do that, right? Your people that are spenders, right, they have no problem just burning 2k green gems, right? I personally don't see a problem with that. But that's the hope, is that we want to try and have an equal rotation amongst the factions so we can make it so that each faction is looking forward to the next event, and it's not just one faction winning it all the time, right? Or you're rotating between two, and you kind of cut out the third one, right? I think it gives players something to look forward to because they know it's their turn next to kind of capitalize and gather from as much resources from the special tiles as they can. And then again, right, being a development server, right, it means no server-wide free-for-all or no server-wide PvP, right? Even though that was how we came in with S8 and we were able to be very successful in doing it, right, it did later change. And I think that's the one thing that we want to make sure in this project, that people are really coming to this project because they believe in what our goals are and our policies that we want to put in place, because there was a lot of people that came to S8 because they wanted to get away from war servers, right? They knew that the server was a safe haven and kind of a safe zone, being a more developmental server, and we had players in place that were willing and wanting to ensure that the server stayed that way, right? So we were able to kind of cut some of the fat off from some of the rogue players pretty early on, right? And we just consistently stayed on it. And so I think those are really great things that you can look forward to in a development-based server, and that's exactly what we're looking to create, but just more consistent this time, and then of course having the organized and controlled PvP. Now again, Kingdom overview with kind of the hierarchy, right? It's essentially just going to be set up where we have kind of leadership, being able to make those kind of final Kingdom decisions and policies when and if necessary. Council will still be the main kind of body that does any kind of suggestions, if we're doing votes, if we're kind of gauging where people are at, and then it's department leads, officers, and their members. Now, I just want to show you guys the brief one here from... Actually, sorry, this is our server. Oh, well, never mind. I guess I basically covered everything. Cool. Anyways, if you guys are still here after that amount of time, and again, as always, if you guys have any questions, please feel free. You can ask those in the comments below. If you want to join the server and check out the project a little bit more in detail, if you want to ask any questions, you're more than welcome to from joining the server, or you can message me on Discord. And I also want to say that, right, any groups... Any player sizes, if you're an individual, if you're coming with a friend, if you're a small group of 5 to 10, if you're a medium group of like 20, 30, 40, or if you're a big group of 60, 70, 80 plus, right? Anyone and everyone is welcome. So far we've been having players and large groups been reaching out about joining, and so again, if you're interested in being a leader or an officer, in our project, right, you essentially just go here to this jump positions channel that's in our Discord, and you can apply, right? We have Google Forms that are set up, so if you want to fill out an application to be a leader or an officer, you're more than welcome to. We already have a lot of apps that are coming in, and we're still vetting through those. But again, and if you're still watching this video and it's around mid-April of 2021 or end April 2021, right, you can still join. There's still plenty of time. You can always just kind of see where our status update is along the project. And guys, I think that's it for me. So hopefully I did a good job of at least covering as much as I could when it came to where the project is currently, right, what we're looking forward to. And I'm sure I only really touched on some of the stuff. We'll be posting more announcements in the server. But anyways, that is it for me. Until next time, peace.